Today is February 14th, 2011. What I'm doing is I'm in the center of the screen here. You're looking at a jet plane crossing the sky in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. And what that plane is doing is it's leaving what is called a contrail, which is a short term for a condensation trail. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off that airplane, because you can see what it's doing is just leaving a very short streak in the sky. I'm going to turn over here to the top of the tree line. See the contrail over here? Now why is it that the temperature out here is just above freezing? You know doggone good and well it's cold as can be up there. And all these planes, all they're doing is just leaving what is called a contrail. See that tail off the back of that airplane over the top of the trees is dissipating very quickly. That's two airplanes that are leaving contrails. I'm going to photograph this other airplane here. And in the center of the screen is what is called a contrail. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here towards the sunlight, and here's a third airplane flying, and you can see the third airplane leaving a contrail in the center of the screen. These are contrails. That is a contrail in the center of the screen. I've pulled the video up as close as I can to it, and I'm trying to hold it as steady as I can. I don't have my tripod, but that is a contrail, a condensation trail. Today is February 14th, 2011. You're watching a jet plane flying high, crossing the sky, leaving a contrail. If it was leaving a chemical trail, that would be a long streak that would eventually spread out to be clouds. So that's three airplanes I've shown you on today that are just leaving what is called contrails, condensation trails. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find another airplane here in the sky. I can't find any right now, but what I want you to see is just, if I can focus in on this thing again, I'm trying to orientate myself, that if you can see that little tiny speck in the sky, that's a contrail. Now what I'm doing is I'm spinning around here, and I'm going to show you the sky. All these little clouds, these light fluffy streaks, are clouds that are caused by normal wispy clouds. If you can see, I'm going to focus in on the moon. It's now about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe 4:45, and you can see it's as I steady the camera, it's very difficult because I'm pointing it upwards, and there's no contrail, no chemical trails. The sky is clear. Why is that? Why is it that on some days we get all of these super long, thick, smoky trails? Now we've just got normal wispy clouds, and the airplanes that are flying high are just leaving contrails. Well, it's because the planes that you see, these long, thick smoke trails, are dumping a chemical out of it. I don't know what kind of chemical it is. Some people think it's strontium, some people think it's barium, some people think it's aluminum oxide. But look at this. Where are all the planes that with these super chemical trails? You can't tell me that this weather is really that much different than you would see on any other day. But again, here it is. It's a clear sky, wispy clouds, normal formations of clouds. I'm David Dane. It's February 14th, 2011. I hope you can see the difference. Today is February 14th, 2011. I'm here in Elk Grove Village looking up, and I'm videotaping an airplane crossing the sky. As you can tell, watch the trail that this plane leaves as I go into the sunlight. Do you see how quickly the tail end of that airplane is disappearing? That is what is called a contrail. That is a condensation trail. That is not a chemical trail like some of the chemtrails that are left behind these airplanes, and the airplanes leave these chemical trails, and they turn into clouds, and they're very smoky and everything else like this. This is a condensation trail. This is an example of a plane that's just leaving a normal condensation trail, because look at this. It's dissipating very, very quickly. As I cross the sky, it's disappearing from behind that airplane quickly. That is a condensation trail. That is not a chemical trail. A chemical trail is one where they leave the chemical behind and it all of a sudden turns into a cloud or something like that. See? It's dissipated very, very quickly. If that's a chemical trail, then in my name, I'm Uncle Sam. You know what I'm saying? That plane is leaving a condensation trail. That is the difference between a chemical trail and a condensation trail. You can see it, but it disappears very, very, very quickly. It's February 14th, 2011, and that is a condensation trail. I want you to see something here. Do you see where those two airplanes are crossing the sky on each other? Look at that. Can you see that? The crossing pattern, one airplane is way up high, the other airplane's way up high, and they're crisscrossing in the sky there. See the little X they're making? Those are condensation trails. Those are not chemical trails. Those are condensation trails. They're dissipating very quickly. It's February 14th, 2011. Okay, it is February 14th, 2011. We're looking at a relatively clear sky. I'm going to point out to you 4 airplanes that are crossing the sky, leaving behind what are called condensation trails. We're looking at the horizon towards the setting sun. You'll see one that's heading towards the lamp post there. Now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to look up above again, and I'm going to sight up on another airplane. You're going to see a jet plane cross in front of me. This is a commercial jet flying out of O'Hare. But directly above me is another airplane. This is 4 airplanes now that I'm looking at that are leaving condensation trails. These are not chemical trails. These are planes that are flying way up there, and they're leaving condensation trails. These are not chemtrails. They don't leave these long streaks that follow out behind you, behind these airplanes. These are condensation trails. Now I want you to see something else here. I'm going to focus in on to the right here on a third airplane. As I look down, I'm going to go past the commercial plane that's passing in front of me. Here's my third airplane for this videotape. It's leaving a condensation trail. Now, why is it on any other day when we look up in the sky and we see these airplanes, they're leaving these long trails left behind the airplane? Now I'm going to bring down to the horizon again to another airplane, and I'm going to focus in on the top of that one. That one, can you see it in the center of the screen? This is the second airplane following behind the first airplane by that lamppost over the top of the bus. Notice it's just a little tiny streak in the sky. That is a condensation trail. That is not a chemical trail. So the contrail is when the airplane leaves behind a trail that is caused by, condensation of cold air around the jet exhaust. Now I'm going to go back up and I'm going to focus again up on this other airplane. This one is leaving a condensation plane. So I've pointed out to you 4 airplanes so far that are leaving condensation trails. Now on other days, why is it that they leave these long smoky trails? Why? Well, it's because they're dumping chemicals out of the back of the airplanes. That is a commercial jet flying up there, and he's doing a condensation trail. All right? Notice that the trail is very short. It's moving, and the trail is very, very short. It's dissipating very quickly. It's not because the weather conditions are any different up there than they've ever been before, but he's just leaving his condensation trail. See the difference? That's the difference between a contrail and a chemical trail. I've just showed you 4 airplanes within a matter of seconds that are leaving condensation trails on a perfectly blue day. I'm David Dane. It's February 14th, 2011.